I am Multi-Topic Talk. Welcome to this new deck profile. Today we cover another aggro type deck. This will be anbu, and guess what? We follow the untap.in rog list, I should say. So this means there's a lot of cards that were banned for good reason, of course. Now, my variant we will cover today will be both wind and fire because wind draws a lot of cards. Now, just like any other deck we covered over my channel, I only use cards I have in real life. So let's start this one off here. Here we are with the next few cards we will use for the next deck list. So let's do this. Next part, the mission and the jutsus. So I hope everyone will enjoy this new deck profile we will cover right now. Marie. So, and control, always very fun. She is a staple in wind. She's good. You need her. Next up, Red by anbu. This is a mission turn 5. Quite helpful in anbu decks. Late game, maybe you have in your discard pile anbus you'd like to have in play. This is why you play Red by anbu. Underground Organization. So this is the card to mill your opponent because you have a lot of anbu and foundation uh, ninjas, and when they attack, you basically mill your opponent. Next up, Wind Side Jutsu, because you need to negate your opponent jutsus. Shadow of the Leaf, this is a counter mission, and I run only one because I also run New Order. Now, by the time I actually searched for the cards, I only found one New Order. That's why I run Shadow of the Leaf. But after recording, I actually found a second New Order, so maybe I should add New Order twice instead of Shadow of the Leaf because there's no Sasuke turn 4. Now, this is a counter mission. This is why we play Shadow of the Leaf. Windstall Vacuum Blade. Another negate because your anbu, you will have a lot of firepower with them themselves. So Vacuum Blade is just a counter jutsu to protect them. Destructive Duel, because we already have Underground Organization, which is a mill component. Destructive Duel is another mill component. On top of that, you can recycle that mission. If your opponent got 5 battle reward, you can play Destructive Duel from the graveyard. So this means you have more mission than the mission on this list. New Order, just like Shadow of the Leaf, it's another counter mission. Now, because this deck is Wind and Fire, I do run Loss, which is one of the best wind mission. Stable for wind, because Neverending Love is banned in most of the ROG lists for good reason. Loss. You draw 2 for 1 end cost turn 2. It's really good. A Master's Death. The more balanced version of Neverending Love. You'll draw 3, no drawback because it's turn 4, and by that point in the game, it's fair to draw for free. Next up, Hydro Pump. Because we do run a few turn 5. And Hydro Pump is a staple when you play Wind. Next up, Dispatch of Anbu. So this is the one that wasn't. This is the one that wasn't banned. This one is quite weaker than the other one, but it's more balanced and still playable because, I mean, you still bring back an Anbu, so you have a free ninja you just add to your team, and that free ninja can actually really ruin your opening day. Next up, the Dispatch of Anbu that was well, I should say, that was limited to one copy a deck. It's still limited, that's why I only run one. It's too good to have more than one, so it's very fair. Next up, Otaru Katsuragi. So this is the Flashpoint one, because I want units, or I should say, I want ninjas in my discard pile for both Dispatch of Anbu and Raid by Anbu. I also want to draw a lot, that's why I splash Wind in this deck. Next up, Yakumo. She is really annoying for your opponent. -2 to all of your opponent non-genjutsu turn 2 or less, I think. Maybe it's 1 or less. Regardless, the low drop will suffer through that Yakumo. Now, I run 2 different Shino. One is turn 0, the other is turn 1. Both generate coins. It's free ninjas to block or attack. That's why I run 2 different Shino. I do think the turn 1 is better than the turn 0. But since I always run 12 turn 0s, I still needed to play the turn 0 to meet that 12 turn 0 mark. Next up, Kiba Inuzuka, the one that searched for a mission. Because I run 13 mission, you are most likely to find one when you play him. Except if you're unlucky, which is kind of sad. Next up, a Wind Anbu. This one wasn't banned because it was actually somewhat balanced, and on top of that is Wind. So he is a dead card if you don't play Wind. And he is the driving factor why I decided to splash Wind into this deck. Kisuke Maboroshi because he's Anbu and turn 0. Mist Anbu because he's Anbu and turn 0. Yugao because she's good. Now, it's not the one that bounce fire ninjas because we do not play with the banned Anbus. It's the Yugao that basically get extra power if you got Anbu or Special Jonin in your discard pile, I believe. Next up, the Kakashi Atake free battle rewards is limited to 1 to the rog list I use on untap.in. And yeah, that Kakashi self-explanatory, it's kind of broken. Next one, Kakashi Embude. Now, there's one Embude that is banned. So I run the other one that is kind of shit, but I run him because Anbu and because I like Kakashi. Anbu Captain because Anbu Captain is obviously really broken, and Anbu, he can stop your opponent from playing mission cards, which are essential to generate chakra without wasting card from your end. Itachi Uchiha, the one that reveal your opponent end because I want to know what's up, what's going on with my opponent. It's kind of good. The other one that gives +1/+1 to each of your Anbu is also good, but I value this one more because I get to see my opponent end as long as that Itachi is in play. Here you got some spoiler for a future video, so let's take a look to the cards. This deck only has 2 space for this Kiba Inuzuka. When deployed, you can reveal top 5 card of your deck. In that case, select one mission card among them and move it to your end. then return the rest and shuffle your deck. So this is one of the best Kiba in the entire game because it can increase your mission count. We also run the squad, and there we are with the squad. During your mission phase, you can discard a ninja card from your end. In that case, draw 2 cards and move 1 card from your end to the bottom of your deck. Draw power on top of that is 5-3. So you make like 2-0 drop into a 5-3 turn 3. It's kind of fun. Next up, Tamari. There we go. When this ninja is put in play, you can look at all of the cards in your opponent and select one jutsu card and move of your choice, if there's any, and send it to their chakra area. So this means you lower your opponent's jutsu count in his hands. Always appreciated. Yeah. Next up, a raid by anbu. Raid by anbu. But put in play any number of anbu ninja cards from your chakra area and or discard pile, even if you already have one or more ninjas with the same name in play. Broken. That mission is quite late, but this is also a win condition in this deck. Considering you got anbu captain in play, after this mission, there's no way your opponent can play any more mission in the game. Except if he can, of course, kill all of your anbu captain, but if that happens, you messed up somewhere. Next up, that's the one. Permanent. Each time you send out one or more anbu and or foundation ninjas to battle, remove the top 2 card of your opponent's deck from game. So it's actually better than usual mill because you actually remove the card from the game. So they are lost, they are gone, they are forgotten. Great card. I only have one in real life, otherwise I would run more of these. Next up, classic win card. Wind Side Jutsu. Target one jutsu being played. Negate the target and move it to its owner chakra area. Additionally, if the user is Tamari, change the user of the target to injured status. That's another reason to run Tamari. OP card. Next up, Shadow of the Leaf. Shadow of the Leaf. Counter mission. Target one mission. Negate and discard the target. In that case, if you control a Sasuke Uchiha with an entrance cost of 4 or more, injure up to 2 of your opponent ninjas. It's quite good if you run said Sasuke turn 4. I don't. But as I said earlier, when I was making this deck list, I didn't know I had 2 New Order, which is the next one. New Order, counter mission turn 3. Target 1 mission. Negate and discard the target. If the target's entrance cost is 4 or more, draw 1 card. So not only you can counter, but if it's high cost mission, you can actually draw on top of that, which is really OP. Really OP. You open and lose something and you gain something. Broken. Absurd. Next up, we enter Mill Territory. Destructive Duo. While your opponent has 5 or more battle reward, this card can be played from your discard pile. So it's like Desperation, but it's not. discard the top 2 card of a player deck and draw 1 card. Because it's a player, you can target yourself. Since you play Dispatch of Anbu, it can be helpful at some extent, but I don't really like milling stuff I don't know. So I'm not that kind of player. I will usually mill my opponents, but opening like discarding your own deck can be an option if you like to take risk. After that, you draw 1 card. Now, if this mission is played from your discard pile, remove this card from the game. So, yeah, it's a very, very strong mission. Highly recommend in most fire decks. World of Fire. So this one is a permanent. It's a turn 0 drop. Each time you have a Fire Ninja in play, you add 1 coin to this card. If you remove 1 coin, you discard the top 2 card of your opponent deck. If you remove 6 coin, you actually discard half of your opponent deck rounded down. Quite OP if you want my opinion on that. On top of that, no mission card can destroy this. Only Ina or ninjas. Amazing, right? Next up, the Wind Territory with Loss. Loss. Turn 2, draw 2, simple and really good at the same time. A Master's Debt, turn 4, draw 3 card, no drawback. So this means there's no side effect to it, just a really good card since Never Ending Love is banned in most of the ROG lists you will find out there for good reason. Having to draw 3 on the first turn is ridiculous, and on top of that, it has 2 symbols. So yeah, a Master's Debt, very balanced draw card. And yeah. Next up, Hydro Pump. Entrance cost of 5 or more is the requirement, so Kakashi and Itachi are the only users in this deck. But you don't really care, as long as you have them, it's broken. It targets 2 ninjas, you move them to their owner end. So it kills stuff, and we like killing stuff in this game. Next up, Dispatch of Anbu. So we will showcase both. We run one of that one because that one has been limited to 1 in the untapped dot in ROG list. I think in most ROG lists this one is also limited to 1, or sometimes I think it's banned for good reason. It's really good. Like the moment you got 3 chakra, you can basically bring all of your Anbu in your discard and chakra area in play, even if they are already in play. So it's absurd. It's just too good. The next one, Dispatch of Anbu. This one is a bit more cost heavy, but you can reduce the cost by having a lot of Anbu in play. The effect is put in play 1 Anbu card from your discard pile to the user in any position. So it's a nerf version of the other one. That's why no ROG list really covered this one. I run only one of these because space issues. There we go with Ataru Katsuragi. Both Ataru are really good, but since this game uses a lot of discard pile, this one is the best pick. So this one is the most recent, the last Ataru Katsuragi, set 26, Flashpoint. So you can remove her in your mission phase from the game. At the start of your next turn, she comes back into play. This is not valid, so don't injure her. When she's put in play, you draw and discard one. So when you flashpoint her, you draw and discard one. When she's put in play, you draw and discard one. So it's a really, really good card for this deck. Also has 2 mental power. We always like that kind of card in case we fight Earth. She is a 3-0 classic. Next up, Yakumo. So Yakumo. Your opponent ninjas with an entrance cost of 2 or less that do not have a Genjutsu combat attribute get -2. So it's anti-rush. It's to stall the game and to make you a bit stronger, because usually your drop on turn 0 or 3 or 4, except if you're like Kiba and you're 2. So basically, if you start, you're guaranteed to always be stronger than your opponent. And even if your opponent start, depending on his 0 drop, you may end up being stronger than him. So it's a really good win card. Even outside of Genjutsu decks, it's a really good card. So now it's Shino time. We will cover both Shino, and then we will cover the anbu we use. So this is the Shino 0 drop. If you really like him, you can run 3 of these. He is really good. I run 2 because I'm also a huge fan of this one. So this one, you can remove 1 growth coin from this ninja. Place 1 insect coin in play with the following: power 0/0 LT in injured non-unique. This is why I like this one a lot. Now I do need 12 0 drops. That's why I run 2 of that one and only 1 of this one. But I know some decks I run 3 of these and 1 childhood, because I only have 1 childhood in real life. Sadly, I wish I had more, because if I had more, I could do some OP stuff. Yeah, that Shino, very fun. He also has better stat than the other one. So the next up, we cover the anbu we use for this deck. Is wind, 1 mental power. When this ninja card is in your hand, if you have 1 or more injured ninjas, the deployment of this ninja do not count toward the 1 ninja per turn restriction. This ninja card can be put in play or moved into a village or battlefield, even if that player already has 1 or more ninjas with the same name in play. Now, I will add more to this. Since the card doesn't mention put in play anywhere, I suspect you still need to meet the entrance cost. It's not a ninja that is counted within the 1 per turn rule, but you still need to meet his entrance cost. This is what I think. Maybe I am wrong, but this is always the way I play him anyway. And if I'm wrong, he is actually more OP than I thought, and he is banned material for sure. 3-2, quite playable. He doesn't have the best stats ever, but considering he is anbu and he is a free ninja, I will never complain about it. Next up, Kisuke Maboroshi. Some people may ask, who the F is that guy? He is in the filler. That's the response to it. And that filler was quite boring, to be honest. I've seen every single Naruto filler, and some are really painful. This one was in Shippuden, like right after the Pain Invasion or right before the Pain Invasion. I can't remember, but I kind of know it was around that time. So when he is discarded, he comes back to play if he doesn't have a ghost coin, and he actually gets a ghost coin. And if he dies again with the ghost coin, he is removed from the game instead. So it's a ninja you need to kill twice. So this is really good. On top of that is 2 symbol. We always like cards with 2 symbol. And on top of everything is anbu. Anbu. We like anbu. Next up, Mist anbu. So this one, not that great. That's why I only run 2 of these. I run him because he's a 0 drop. He's non-unique. And he has anbu in his characteristic. On top of that, you can move 3 of your opponent discard pile to their chakra area. So it works well with Destructive Duo. So he can become a free ninja. Um, so yeah, he's just there, you know. Some deck can run him 3 times and he will be better, but since this deck is Fire Wind, running too many of him can really hurt my colors. Next up, Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, we run this Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I do like her becoming a 6-2 if you have a special Jonin or a anbu in your discard pile. When this ninja card is in your hand, when your special Jonin or anbu is discarded due to the showdown, you can put in play this ninja. So because it's a put in play, you don't even need to respect the entrance cost. So if you lose Kisuke and you get to choose to not give him a ghost coin and he end up in the discard, you can actually have her really fast and early, which is kind of absurd, right? Now, recently I bought lots of cards from someone, and this is another anbu. She is Win. I did consider playing her, but then I looked back to this one, and I'm like, this one is just straight up better. But there's the thing, in the future I may end up making other anbu decks, and I may use my only copy of this one, because she looks very fun, and she is Wind. So, when your ninja with an entrance cost of 3 or more is discarded after being in play, place 1 gold coin on this ninja. The maximum of gold coin this ninja can have at any time due to this effect is 2. So it can be really interesting if you play Jonin like Dan and Milwaukee. These 2 cards combo well with this, because most likely Dan is a Jonin, and he is more than entrance cost 3 or more. So you draw, and on top of that, she gets a growth coin. She can become really big fast. But outside of that, like, she's Wind. And I like Wind a lot. Wind is busted in this game. Mr. Free Battle Reward is the next stop. Okay, so this is one of the most recent Kakashi they made. Turn 5, 1 end cost. He is Joning, mental power 3, and a writ. So when he dies, he gives his effect text to another ninja. When he attacks by himself, or by itself, it cannot be blocked by a ninja that do not have this ninja's combat attribute. So it can only be blocked by Genjutsu. On top of that, if he gives Inurit to a bastard combat attribute, it can become really broken. Like, you play Kimimaro, if your opponent doesn't have any Kimimaro, nobody will block your Kimimaro. So it's just free battle reward. So even if he's blocked, you don't really care to lose that Kakashi, because you can give your effect text to another one and just keep having free battle rewards. So that Kakashi OP. Even injured, he's somewhat playable because he becomes 3-2. So you can just chump block or give some support to something. The next stop, I need to find the right anbu day. So this anbu day is banned. This one is fine. So this is the one I am playing because I don't have the other one. I only have this one. Deploy this ninja card from your end. If you have two or more anbu ninja, move this ninja into any of your teams in any position. This count as a deployment for the turn. So my issue with this is 5-2. And this is your deployment. So not only he doesn't provide that much support, but he's not that great. Now I run him because he has ambush, anbu, mental power 3, which is still very good. So he still has some decent assets. But if I had that Kakashi in real life, I think I would run this one. Even if it doesn't sync well, it just looks better, I think. Actually, never mind. He doesn't have Embu. He is Jonin. That's funny. So yeah, that's the only playable Kakashi Embu days. That's funny. So yeah, no, never mind, man. That one is not really good outside of Ninja Dog decks. Next up, Anbu Captain. Anbu Captain. Your other Anbu ninja get +1 support, so it's broken. And +1 mental power, it's even better. Now, it's not valid the second effect, but it's quite strong. Your opponent can't play mission card with an entrance cost less than the number of your in-play Anbu ninjas. This deck usually has a lot of Anbus, so your opponent will suffer his life. That one is 5-2 ambush, mental power 2 for 1. Just imagine dispatch of Anbu or raid by Anbu, and you get 3 of these. So you get 3 +1 support and 3 +1 mental power. You can destroy Earth mental power with Anbu, which makes no sense. Okay, next up, Itachi, the best card of this current deck. Outside of Captain, of course. This one is a funny one. He is both Anbu and Jonin. Very funny. Ambush, valid. Your opponent plays with their end revealed. Valid. While your opponent has 2 or more cards of the same type in their end, this ninja gets the following effect text. When this ninja wins any victory, you win 1 battle reward. Now I need to specify something there. If you are not blocked, it's not considered a victory. It's considered to be an outstanding victory. Or no, actually a battle reward victory. This is the right name. And if you get 2 battle reward, it's an outstanding battle victory. Battle reward victory. It's different. You need to be blocked to get that effect, in other words.